Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again here to bring another video. This one's going to be talking about a new character that's going to be seen in The Walking Dead starting Season 3. We already have an actor who's going to be playing him. It is David Morissey. He is a well-known English actor. He's going to be joining the cast to play pretty much the villain of The Walking Dead series so far. In terms of the comic book, there are a lot of different villains, and the zombies themselves are not. I don't really consider the zombies villains per se. Not compared to how evil some of the people are that they encounter in this world. But above all, the characters that they meet within the Walking Dead storyline, none is as villainous or as frightening or as interesting, scary. I mean, there are so many different adjectives I can think of to describe the character of the Governor. I think he's one of the best villains in comic books, period. And he's definitely the best villain in The Walking Dead. As I said in one of my other videos, he makes Shane from the first 2 seasons look like the Tooth Fairy. He really does, because he is so evil and he is just so vile that the things he does to the group, and they're so totally uncalled for, and at the same time he's just so evil, conniving, and he's just such a bastard, really. he's such a bastard. Okay, let's take a look at some pictures of the Governor. Okay, this is by far one of the most famous pictures, or part of a picture from The Walking Dead that Charlie Adler has drawn for the Governor. Pretty much this was on a cover. I forget exactly which issue this was of. But yes, he did actually warrant covers for him, and part of the storyline in the comic books does actually follow this character, as well as there's a novel that's written about him before he encounters the group in the Walking Dead comic book series. Have not read the novel, but I intend to before Season 3 comes around eventually. As you can see, he has basically long black hair in the comic book. He's drawn to sort of be like, I always thought that he was, of some kind of either Latino or Mexican or Cuban descent or Italian or something. I mean, doesn't he look like it? Maybe Native American, something like that. But the actor who's playing him, David Morissey, is just playing English. So, but that's okay. I mean, he doesn't, like, the actor for the TV show doesn't have to be exactly like him. Like Danny Trejo looks the part a lot closer than David Morrissey does. But the TV show is its own incarnation, so it doesn't mean he necessarily has to look exactly like he did in the comic books. I think it's more important that they get a great actor to portray the Governor than it is to get someone who just looks a lot like him. Because, I mean, acting skills and that kind of stuff, it's going to be more important for a character this big in the show and that's this influential for so long. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool picture. As you can see, he's a little banged up here. He's got only one eye. He's got a patch over the other. He's got some scars on his neck. This is after a certain incident happens in the comic book, and he gets hurt up pretty bad. I won't, mention anything because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who intends to read it. But yeah, he does get messed up pretty bad by one of the characters in Rick's group. Okay, moving on to the next one. Here's another cool picture of him where you just kind of get a sense of, what he looks like, and, he's just kind of looking a little bit evil, a little bit conniving in this picture. I thought it was pretty cool. This is probably one of the better, well, I mean, there's a lot of good, different pictures of the Governor that Charlie Adler, the artist for The Walking Dead, has drawn, but I think this one, it kind of shows off sort of just how, like, evil and just vile this guy is. So that's this one. This one for sure is a little bit more grotesque. This is a picture of the Governor right before he leaves to pretty much create some chaos. That's as generic as I'll go with that. And this is his daughter, who is a zombie, and he just gets done, finished prying her teeth out with a pliers, and he proceeds to give her a kiss, or tells her, give daddy a kiss. And then after, of course, he spits it out because he's like, he's puking after too, because it's, she's dead. She's a walker. So, yeah, Okay, moving on. Here's another one of his zombie daughter. This is before he gets messed up. As you can see, he doesn't wear an eye patch, and I thought this one was kind of funny because he just pimp smacks her like just right back. His daughter, and he keeps her around him too, as well as some other interesting things that he does have. Um, One of which I don't have a picture of is he tends to keep severed heads in. He has like an aquarium, except there's no fish. It's just zombie heads, and he keeps all these zombie heads in these fish tanks, and he just like sits there and watches them for a good amount of time. It seems like he just sits there. He just watches these floating zombie heads in fish tanks just float around, while he just kind of sits there and enjoys it, and he treats it like it's watching television. So yeah, here's where in the comic books I think this is the first time we basically meet him, and he's talking about something he's doing. Basically, he doesn't treat strangers well, and he doesn't treat people outside of his group well at all. So yeah, interesting stuff as well. Okay, so this is another one where he is riding in with the group from basically most of the men in his group from Woodbury, which is their home base for the most part in the comic books. And he pretty much is, yeah, he's the leader, so to speak, of the whole group. He's pretty much the #1 guy. And he keeps everybody together. By the way, his name's Philip. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. I think it's Philip Eagle, I think is his last name. Pretty sure. So yeah, you get to see this one and where they're riding in all their stuff. And he does have a tank. He has at least one tank. Lots of heavy assault rifles. Lots of, different kinds of weaponry and guns and all kinds of different crazy stuff as well. And I think also in the TV show he's probably going to have access to a helicopter. I think they're going to make the helicopter his, basically, or part of that group. By the way, most likely he is the leader of the group that Randall and Dave, Tony, and the other guy who got his nose bitten off, the African-American guy, in Season 2. So he's probably the leader of that group, and we'll probably see him in the first episode of Season 3, or very close to the first episode, like pretty much right off the bat. We should be seeing scenes from the governor very, very quickly. So very cool stuff. As you can see in this picture, he's going somewhere, and you've got some zombies in front of him, and we'll zoom in to the part with him on the tank. Yeah, so here he is on the tank, and he's basically just ordering the guys to kill them all. As you can see, at this point, he's lost one arm, he's lost his left eye, and as well as some other body parts that are invisible. Just from pretty much the war that goes on between his group and Rick's group. I'm trying my best this time to not, release any big spoilers, and there really aren't. I haven't really said anything that spoils the comic book storyline for you guys too bad, but not really at all, actually. But for those of you guys who watch the TV show, I hope you appreciate and you like this video, and I hope that gives you some inside information on exactly, who the governor is, what he's about. And yeah, you have some sense and idea going into Season 3 about the character just in general. If you want to know more about him, of course, pick up the Walking Dead comic books. You can read through the story there. It's fantastic. And he does have his own novel, so you can always go back and read that. And the novel, from my understanding, is basically before the events of The Walking Dead. So his story and how he became such an evil, vile bastard. That's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one. Later. Peace.